question. You have just heard your colleague identify someone with swallowing difficulty. I want you to explain to me, what would you do? You have just found out that this service user's needs have just changed. What would you do to ensure this service user's needs are met?
Right. I would first stop feeding, or I would tell my colleague to stop feeding. Then I would first contact the doctor and inform them of the situation. And after that, I would contact my service user family member or next of kin and inform them of the situation.
Okay. So our staff is saying she will contact the GP or doctor, and she will inform relatives, and she will inform who else? Next of kin, relative, next of kin. What else can you do? What else do you think that you should be doing? Observation, because you have observed already. That's why you've taken the initiative to do what you've done. What else? If there's any food in the mouth, you will remove it. And using the infection prevention control, how would you remove that food from the service user's mouth?
Ensure that my hands are washed. Dry, sanitize. I will have to use a glove. To put in her mouth to remove the
Okay. And so you have noticed, after you've done all that, I am still looking for something that I did not hear none of you explain to me. No, before you go to the puree of the food will come later on. What else could you have done? Should you have done? Document what you have seen and observed, and what you have done, and who you have spoken to, and who you have reported the situation to. Okay? Always remember, if you did not document, then you did not do anything. No documentation, that simply means you neglect your service user. You may not have neglect the service user, bear in mind, but because you were lacking in documentation to approve what you say was done, to approve what you say was done, you know, sometimes I gotta do a little, you know, a little that. I'm like that. You know, you have to do a little, you know, and all that. So bear with me. Okay. And so, if I don't behave like that, you will go sleep on me. And I don't want you to sleep. So you will have to monitor. In terms of the drink, the doctor may give you a powder or something to use to thicken, what they call it, thickener. That you may put a spoon inside of the thickener, right? Inside of the tea, inside of something, maybe even a soup that you puree. So all that will come from the nutritionist and the doctor, and you get information to work with. Oh, you're saying something?
Yes, I was looking at the idea that, all right, you discover that the person not following the food. and you remove the food stuff from the person's mouth. In the meantime that you are waiting to get a response from the doctor, what do you do? And the person is hungry. What do you do?
Let's to answer that question. If you are waiting, the person is hungry, and you are waiting, as the question asked, on the doctor's response. It's better to be safe than sorry. One day will not kill the resident or unalive the resident. What will happen is that I am not going to feed that resident. I am not giving you anything. Before that, I will take you a cab or call an ambulance if there's one, and take you to the hospital, the nearest hospital, for them to be with you. Because if you take matters in your own hand and anything happens to the service user, you are going to be responsible for your actions. Does that answer your question? Okay, safeguarding and family support. We're getting here. People with dementia are at increased risk of neglect. Did you hear me? People with dementia are at increased risk of neglect, emotional or financial abuse, because they are not remembering. They can be abused by family members, can be abused by staff, they can be abused by those that have control over their finances. If it's not coming from the law itself that puts something in place to ensure that they are not being abused.
Sorry, you say this like this. Say, for example, their property. This is an easy way for family members to abuse them, to sign over the title of their houses and things like that. And then afterward, other family member here inform the service user, and then the service user becomes depressed.
Yes.
Depressed, and it's a big word for the nursing home to deal with.
Yes.
It doesn't matter what you're going to tell them.
No.
Yes.
My house is gone.
Yes.
Yes.
I no longer have that house that I worked so
Yes.
hard to live in.
Yes.
And it's a different word now. You have to be counseling that person, you know, to really.
It is at this point that we should use our initiative to get the authority involved. That it doesn't have our responsibility is not put now on the service on the service itself, because the service itself is not in a sense is not. It's for us to report that we've seen this happening in services. I say, bear in mind dementia, that services that may have property, they may never own a house. But because they are demented, they own plane, they own house, they own car, they own. So we need to ensure that we have facts before we take on anything else. We can report in England, I know. We could report to the social services, and I believe social services is also here, that we can report to social services to say this is the concern that we have. Our resident is breaking down because our resident is saying they have taken my house, they have taken my money, they have taken everything from me, and now I have nothing. That's our duty. After that, we leave it in the hands of the authority and continue our care. Is that okay? Anybody have anything to say? Okay. All staff must report any concern immediately to management. All staff immediately to management. And excuse me, I'll see you in a bit.